You've been told all along that the Federal Reserve is here to save the day, and I am here to show you the exact opposite. I'm going to give you the information that you need to know, and I want to start right away. The Fed denies the release of correspondence on trades made by policymakers. That will be the topic for today, but I want to take you back in the pages of history to explain that this is not the first time this has happened. Make it known right now that their actions are always occurring. We need to understand they need their independence and what that really means. So let's go back right here to the $16 trillion bailout. This article is dated 2011, but it is understood at this time that the GAO, the Government Accounting Office, had put out this report showing in this limited audit of the Federal Reserve that, in fact, they didn't give out just, a couple hundred billion. That would be bad enough. But they actually gave out 16 trillion, and then later on it was actually more. Now, who got that money, you probably ask? Well, you can see right here. In this grilling by Congress, you have, in this case here, it was, there was multiple people, multiple different angles on this, but this particular exchange was Bernie Sanders and Ben Bernanke, and he says flat out, tell us who you gave the money to. That was his question. Okay, links will be below, by the way. Tell us who you gave the taxpayers' money to. And he says, no. Like, you're not going to know. You're not going to find out who got this money. Now, I did a video about this, which broke it down further. Bloomberg, through FOIA, Freedom of Information Act request, they got the details in this limited audit. They were able to get some of this. This is like super, they're talking about $1.2 trillion. So we are not talking about all 16 trillion. We are not talking about every dime that they've given, especially since their inception, which we would love to know. This is totally separate from that, but we get to see the details. Who's on the list? And by the way, this no longer exists on Bloomberg. So I'm very thankful that I made this video. Top of the list, Morgan Stanley, Citigroup, Bank of America, RBS, all the big names, including Canadian banks, including, in fact, institutions all over the world. How can that possibly be? We're talking about the Federal Reserve here. They are trying to make sure that you're okay. They're taking care of you. At least that's what they say. But of course, that isn't the case. If you understand how this institution was set up in the first place, that's why I have it at the very end of my videos. My normal videos won't be on this one, where I show that shot of the camera panning and it gives you that board in the back, which is behind this way, right here. 1913. Study 1913 to understand what's happening today. If you don't understand 1913, you won't get it. The US Fed, responding to an FOIA request from Reuters, said that there's about 60 pages of correspondence between its ethics officials and policymakers regarding the financial transactions during the year 2020. So you know what happened. All these individuals in the Fed were trading stocks, and lo and behold, they perfectly timed it, and they made money as a result. In most cases, actually not in all cases. But it denied, this is a quote, denied in full, that's a quote, denied in full, to release the documents, citing exemptions under the Information Act that it said applied in this case. Well, they need to maintain their independence, right? Well, you can't do this because it would undermine what they're doing, because, well, that information will become public, and then suddenly, they lose their independence. How about they do lose their independence? How does that sound? Wouldn't that be a good thing? Oh no, don't want to mess with the Fed because they're supporting the markets, right? I mean, this is the first cycle we've ever had, right? I mean, they wouldn't take you into a car or a bus, let's say, and drive you right against a brick wall, would they? Maybe that's something to think about. The disclosure of trading by two regional reserve bank presidents during that year led them to resign, prompted Jerome Powell to overhaul the Fed ethics rules, and request the central bank inspector general to investigate. That's right. All of the problems are going to be resolved. Let's make sure we restore faith in this organization designed to extract every last dollar that you have. Okay, I could go on. I'm not going to read the entire article for you. It'll be down in the thing below. They rejected the request. Something so simple. There's not much to, I mean, we should be talking about the $16 trillion. This is way more important. Now, I'm glad that at least there was enough people that actually cared to get this to happen. And that's amazing. We got some information. But we go to today, we can't get this information. They make it seem, this is what happens in all these big companies. Oh, the gold price is being manipulated. What do? They get the one gold trader, slap on the wrist. He disappears somewhere, probably goes to Dubai or something. He's all good. Nothing bad ever happens. Okay, we need to realize what's happening, who's in control, who's doing this and that in order to truly wake up. So what can you do? Well, number one, we got to be more aware of this. Study every single day. Learn the ins and outs of this institution. Understand what they are actually trying to do. Forget about all of this nonsense that you see. Oh, they're trying to support the markets because they got to help all of their friends. And, Powell's got a real big portfolio. He doesn't want to screw that one up. The Federal Reserve is a private institution. They have shareholders. This is not some theory, some wild accusation. This is an absolute fact. But yet people can't get their, no. They have to support their, they do it, but they make a heck of a lot more money when they consolidate. It's not up that they make their money. It's during the consolidation periods. Look at what was said by Rockefeller. Look at Templeton. Look at even Buffett. Anybody who's super wealthy. They love it. They love it when there's blood in the streets. They love to see the panic and chaos. And most importantly, they love to take it from the little guy. If you appreciate this information, hit the thumbs up. If you hate my face, hit the thumbs down. Make it known. Be brave. Be bold. Do what you think is best for yourself and your family. That's my message. Take care.